Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Stock Market Today. It's Ali Coram here with a look at the market today and this terrible, awful, no good, very bad day for the markets in a big reversal after the strong reaction to the Fed decision on Wednesday. But we will get into the overall market conditions by taking a look at the major indexes, in addition to highlighting three stocks with noteworthy action, including Albemarle, also Northrop Grumman, and Pioneer Natural Resources. But first, let's check in on those major indexes. So heavy losses across the board today. The NASDAQ down a whopping 5% today. The S&P 500 down 3.6%, and the Dow down 3.1%. Also, small caps down 4.8%. So with the NASDAQ here, we did get an undercut of the rally day low on the 2nd of May. This is a slightly delayed chart here, but we did end up getting a close below the key level here that we're seeing on the chart. So that would end the NASDAQ's rally attempt with that undercut. Let's also take a look at the S&P 500 holding above its rally day low, but a sharp move lower here as we saw some resistance at this declining 21-day moving average. The S&P back below 4,200 and more distance between the S&P 500 and that 50-day line now. Let's also take a look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average hitting resistance at its 50-day line, also right around that 34,000 level, closing below 33,000 today, it looks like. Yes, just by a couple of points there. And also we can check in on the IWM ETF, which tracks the Russell 2000, taking a big hit today, also with some resistance at that declining 21-day moving average. And we have to take a look at the 10-year Treasury yield because it's a great visual representation of the theme in the market with rising rates here. So continuing higher here today, now solidly above that 3% level. We can also take a look at the weekly chart here to see the longer term trend and the rate of ascent. You can also even take a look at the monthly chart just so you can see how in the last couple of months, a really big move in the rates here. And, you know, investors, one way that they could have been playing this move is with the Tbt Etf. This tracks the 20-year yield, the inverse performance of the 20-year Treasury, with a big move up today, up some 5.4%. Well extended from a proper entry, but we were highlighting a buy area here at the beginning of April. So a big move here again today. And this is impacting a lot of stocks in the market. We are seeing pockets of strength, however, primarily in the groups that have been leading all year, but technology has been hit in a pretty big way. And now let's take a look at some individual names worth watching, like Albemarle. Ticker there is ALB. A big move on Wednesday and followed up on that gain today. So bucking the overall weakness here, getting back above its 200-day line. The move on earnings on the 4th, up by about 9%. So another 9% gain today. So in the last two sessions, up some 20%, some heavy volume behind the move and breaking a downtrend. And, you know, Albemarle is not alone. This is one of those EV battery plays, essentially, on the chemical side. And we've seen other movers in this theme this week. LTHM, for example, Livent there, so showing signs of life. So if we were in an uptrend, perhaps an actionable opportunity here, but with the bearish action today, it's safer for investors to be in lots of cash. And if you do want to put a little bit of money to work, make sure you are going with very small positions. Some people, some traders like to call that pilot positions, you know, maybe 1 to 2% of your portfolio, and keeping a tight leash on things, looking for moving averages or price levels. You know, today's low, for example, as a way to manage that risk. So that way you're not risking too much of your portfolio by making some of these smaller bets here. But a prudent thing to do would be to watch this stock now that it's on your radar, see if it can tighten up from here, and if the market can get back on its feet as the stock tightens up, that would be a good sign. But one for the watch list, no doubt. And let's also take a look at a defense name. We have Northrop Grumman. We've also talked about General Dynamics in recent sessions, but Northrop continuing to build a cup with handle base here. A third straight day of gains. So up today by about 1%. And look at that volume down below. We did get some above average volume today. We have earnings out of the way. So this stock is continuing to rebound off of its 50-day line. We like getting those early entries, not necessarily having to wait for a breakout of this handle or a breakout to new highs. Because again, going back to risk management, the closer you can find an entry near a moving average, that's a great level to be able to manage your risk, because if Northrop moves sharply below its moving average, then that would be a signal that this trade isn't working. Maybe your timing was off, but a good level to know if you are wrong and then to be able to get out. So we do have an early entry here, but again, with the broad market weakness, at the very least, investors should be looking for stocks with strong relative strength lines that are bucking the downtrend, holding up and outperforming the market, because those watch list worthy stocks could lead the next leg higher in the market if and when we do see that. But we can take a look at the weekly chart, and we do have an RS line blue dot for Northrop, which is a bullish signal because it underscores that outperformance versus the S&P 500. Nice support at the 10-week line here for Northrop as well. So another watch list stock for everyone out there. And last but not least, let's check in on the energy sector with Pioneer Natural Resources. This is in the exploration and production area. We've got a nice move back above the 10-week line this week. It's on pace for a gain of some 11% here. It did dip below the 10-week line in the prior 2 weeks, but able to quickly get back above that level. So that is a good sign, and something that we've seen for a lot of the energy sector names that we've been tracking all year long that have made strong moves, like Pioneer, Devon, DBN, for example, a name that did briefly undercut its 50-day line, but has been able to get back on its feet. So when the market's in an uptrend, we do like retakes of the 10-week line as potentially actionable areas for stocks. And it looks like there's a lot of trading right here happening for Pioneer right above the 250 level, between 250 and 260. But once again, going back to the weekly chart, it's not quite showing a full-on And that is it for today, everyone. We definitely missed Ed. Wish he could have made it today, but hope that was a good breakdown for you with a couple of stocks to keep on your watch list, because again, just to reiterate, That's what's important to do right now. Maybe today felt like kind of that Lucy with the football tricking Charlie Brown, just when you thought you would be able to take a nice big kick and potentially see a follow-up to the strong session that we saw on Wednesday. We did get bamboozled today here, but investors who have been following Investors Business Daily, we have said we've yet to see that follow through day signal. So until then, we need to be in healthy amounts of cash, preserve capital, mental and your physical capital as well, and wait for those clearer skies in order to make sure that the wind is at your back when you're investing, instead of trying to fight the chop. And we don't want anyone to get scared out of the market on the sidelines and feeling so burned that they're not going to be ready to anticipate the next uptrend. We got to be at the ready, continue to freshen up those watch lists and see what the market brings us. We have one more session to go this week, so I will see you all tomorrow morning on IBD Live. We will be joined by special guest Mish Schneider of @MarketMinute on Twitter. She is going to provide some really great insight, and we're going to be looking at a lot of charts from a macro level and filtering down to talk about what moves we could potentially see in commodities from here for the remainder of the year. So looking forward to unpacking that and so much more. We may even talk about crypto a little bit. So make sure you join us tomorrow morning on IBD Live, investors.com/IBD Live. We'll see you there. And also right back here tomorrow after the close. Thanks for watching, everyone.